starting. This is chapter 27. Okay. It's about my pal Joey. Joey and I were on the beach patrol together when he was a kid, and I was on the, I was a senior lifeguard, and he was just a rookie. And we used to train in judo every day after work, and even during work when it was bad weather. And this is a scene for me meeting up with Joey. He had lost a leg in Vietnam, that's where we left off, and had a very bad time of it. And judo is what helped him recover. And that's what stuck in my mind, that judo helped him recover. Because this is pretty much my downside right now before I went off to Africa. So the scene was, Joey and I knew each other from the service on beach patrol days. He was a rotating rookie, and he served with me often. We practiced judo together on the sand every day behind a lifeguard stand, but I hadn't seen him for a very, very long time, and I hadn't had any experience with him. So I informed both of them seriously that I wanted to interview Joey first for the book that I was going to write. He is shy about his personal life. It was like pulling teeth just to get him to do an interview. We sat facing each other in a comfortable living room of a ranch-type house in Memorial, New Jersey, which is outside of Dennisville, New Jersey, where Joey teaches at an elementary school. Joey was in his favorite easy chair, right next to the phone for easy access. The entire corner of the room was filled with judo gold. He was on the couch. Both of us were drinking black coffee, and his wife Beth was bouncing in and out and laughing, and the kids were interrupting, drawing attention to themselves like normal kids do. And we were getting to know each other again after so many years of separation, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. I was intrigued with Joey's total lack of conversation regarding his United States Marine Corps experience in Vietnam. Deep down, I knew Joey was a real-life war hero, but he never acknowledged it and never referred to it. Warrior silence behavior is not uncommon. Real heroes rarely talk about their personal experiences. Phony heroes always do. Their talk is the tip-off that they're phony. They're always trying to sell you how brave they are. It's Irish common law in all the old neighborhoods where I grew up, where bragging how tough you are is always the cover-up for weakness. Joey never talks about anything that would directly or indirectly draw attention to him. He dedicates himself to training, to acting out his Zen-like philosophy, and to no other personal goals, except maximum efficiency with a minimum of effort, and that's exactly what the word judo means. He claims to be driven by reason, not reasons. Getting specific information from any of the Walders is next to impossible, but I knew enough about Marine Corps Second Lieutenants and Purple Hearts to know something else was behind the story of this man than an actual war history, than official awards for combat and wounds. I confronted Joey directly before Beth and the kids popped back in the room. Joey, tell me about your awards. Surprised. What awards? You know, the awards I'm talking about. Where are your war medals? Smiling. What medals? Joey, I'm tired of this humility bullshit. I've been straight with you. We decided I should write about it, so come on, loosen up. Where are they? Frowning. They're hidden in the attic. I yelled, Beth, go up in the attic and get Joey's war medals. Joey looked panicked, so did Beth, and so did both kids. What war medals? She said. He couldn't get up because I moved his crutches, and Beth starts obediently toward the attic. Why hide the medals, Joey? I'll bet Dickie hasn't seen them either. How come your own kids don't know about them? Joey eased back in, looking lovingly at his kids, said, Tommy, there are no medals for being in a war. There are no prizes for being in the military. There are no awards for combat. Volunteering is enough. It doesn't matter what you do. It isn't relevant. If you come home with your arms, your legs, your fingers, your toes, your eyes, and your sanity, you won first place. Coming home without them, you win second place. Everyone else gets an honorable mention. Just getting a name chipped into a wall in Washington, D.C. takes political battle. Hell, Tommy, the Marines in Lebanon won't even get an honorable mention, and you know that. Look what you're doing. Joey presses on. Frankly, I've been embarrassed to show those medals to my kids as an accomplishment. It's kind of hard to explain. The medals don't embarrass me. What embarrasses me is that I was individually selected to get them when I knew for an absolute fact that so many others did the exact same thing as I did that day, and they weren't awarded anything. It doesn't matter. It isn't fair. I'm proud of it, but that's not why I went to Vietnam. I went because I was sent, not because I asked to go. While I was there, I did exactly what I was asked to do. I didn't dream up that job. I thought they asked me to do exactly what I did, so I did it. I'm not a hero. Real heroes take honorable mention. When you come home wounded or depressed, try to get something out of the Veterans Administration. Try to raise kids. Try to keep your marriage together. Try to be a brother or a father. It's damn near impossible. These are real life issues, the things you get awards for, not killing people. That's a sin and a shame, and it's wrong. I'm not anti-military, I'm anti-killing. I just happen to have had a job on one side during the killing. How can you be awarded a prize for killing a brother? Look over there. I put my judo trophies out. I'm proud of my judo trophies. I want my kids to see them. I want my family and friends to see them. They're symbols of personal accomplishment for trying to help myself, and maybe in some way, helping others. How would I ever explain war medals to kids? That I got them for trying to kill somebody? That I got lucky while they were trying to kill me? That's why war medals stayed in the attic all these years. Any other questions? Wow, what an opening round. This is going to be one hell of an afternoon. Both had been promising to match this match for months. A good bullshit session would do you both good, winks Beth, now back with the awards. Beth, patient, friendly looking, with the most captivating glow in her eyes, sitting now and dusting old framed awards in her lap. God, I was jealous. I hadn't seen that look or glow in a long time. It's one of admiration. Admiration for Joey. And she didn't have to say a word, just her way of looking at him and her eyes would light up. I hid my envy. Allison, the little girl, the quiet one, friendly like Big Joey, smiley, devilish. Little Joey, an absolute riot, a combination of mom and dad. Outgoing, aggressive, but with Big Joey's innocence. Had a real sense of humor and loves to fight and wrestle. I give little Joey noogies. He hates noogies. Noogies is when you rub the head. He's always telling Big Joey, "You're Tommy Sensei, make him cut that out." Big Joey, smiling dutifully, winks, promises absolutely under no condition, under no circumstances will Tommy ever be allowed to touch him again, and winking back. I can't wait to get my hands around little Joey for another noogie. Beth watches the mood. Both warriors are relaxed for the first time in a long time, and at peace with each other. Joey, I want to write a book about you, me, Dickie, and many others. How our judo experiences and being from Mount Airy and in the Marine Corps took us to where we are today. No, I have no idea what my conclusion is, but we are all know war is bullshit, and we have our own reasons. That's why I'm asking all these personal questions. I'm not just curious. I want to hear the truth, and I want to hear it from your own mouth. Okay? Shoot. How did you feel when you lost your leg? I didn't feel anything. I was stretching my legs from lying so still and so long in the jungle. I cocked one leg in the air to scratch it. I knew when I did it, it was stupid. I caught a round in my knee. It tumbled down through my ankle and out. I didn't feel a thing, but I knew exactly what happened. How did you meet up with Beth? Both glanced at each other and burst out laughing. Beth butts in Tony Mart's at Summers Point on a Friday night. I was with Joey's sister. She set us up. I'd heard about him and I'd seen him a few times. He came in grinning, really up, just won his first judo medal. He took a bronze in Philadelphia. Couldn't stop talking about it. He drew his brother Johnny as his first match, and Johnny beat the hell out of him. Joey was white belt, just getting started. Johnny was the collegiate national champion black belt, but Joey took a third. And while Johnny took first, he was really excited for Johnny, but the bronze was something he had worked for himself. What did you think and how did you feel when you saw Joey had a missing leg? I didn't notice it. He had a walking leg. He had long pants on and he didn't walk with a limp. I didn't really notice it until I went out with him. When was that? The next night. He asked me to go out with him and came hopping up the stairs with Bermuda shorts on. That's how Joey announced his missing leg with a big grin. How did you feel? I didn't. I was a nurse in a ward full of guys who had just come back from NAM with a lot worse shape than Joey. Joey's missing only one leg. These guys are missing lots of parts. It just didn't seem significant. It was never an issue. I glanced, caught Joey looking at Beth, both grinning, and wondered, could it really be that simple? And I decided not to press. Then what happened? We went off together, and we went off, on, more off than on, and finally we got married. What did you do during the off and on years? Traveled mostly, winking, jerking ahead toward the kids. We traveled mostly with Joey, and when I could, I worked as a nurse. Come on, Beth, get to it, you know what I mean. When did you start taking off with Joey? Oh, after a few months, Joey announced he was taking a trip to Europe to visit judo schools, to work out with well-known European senseis. He wanted to know if I felt like joining him. He had the trip well planned, he saved the money. I had saved some too, and we thought it was a great idea. Winking at her. You mean you went to Europe to go to judo schools? Beth winks back, glancing at the kids again. Joey trained 3 days a week and visited many of the famous schools in Europe. We spent 9 months in Germany alone. He worked out with every champion he ever heard about. He trained with every physical instructor whom he ever respected. On days off, we went sightseeing and touring. How did you feel being over there by yourself with all those guys around? It was great. They're terrific guys. They had the same sense of humor. They're fatalists. You know, they knew life was a tight scene and chose judo mat as the place to work out their problems. You ought to know. You're one of them. You two guys fight like hell in the middle of a small square so you don't punch somebody else in the nose the next day at work. It's that simple, isn't it? Come on, Beth. You know we wouldn't do that, both of us laughing very hard. Oh yeah? I heard the stories about you guys. And we all laughed. The kids were looking quizzically, wondering what could possibly be so funny. Beth picks up again. Joey went to Australia by himself. He made 3 trips to Japan. Then he spent a year in Houston as a school teacher for special kids and training at night with his favorite sensei. Little Joey butts in. Look, no, big Joey butted in. Look, Tommy, I can make this real simple. Beth, go get the article. Beth looks at Joey, stunned. Gets up slowly, walks to the cabinet, digs down below, digs out a yellow, dog-eared black belt magazine with a paper clip in the centerfold and hands it to me.